I've been hiding something from you guys, literally. If you're new here, my name is Jamie, and you're probably coming in at a fairly strange time in my life. I don't even have a plan for this video. I am just going to end up babbling, I think, and we'll see where it goes. But if you are new here, normally I film videos about my life here in Florida. We live very close to the Disney parks, so we spend lots of time at Disney. In fact, I'm going to Epcot later today just to run an errand, which sounds crazy, but anyway, I also like to do some fashion stuff. I like to share what's going on with my plants and just a little bit of everything in between. I love life. I love to share what's going on. But if you're not new here, you may have noticed some recent changes with how I'm styling my hair. In fact, a few of you have made comments about how you love my hair bands that I've been using. I'll insert a picture of how my hair normally looks. I left it down today. I just got out of the shower, so it's very wet. But lately I have been styling my hair differently. And that's because I was recently diagnosed with alopecia areata. I feel like I'm getting very emotional about this. I don't know why, because I've known about this for quite some time, and really I'm not that upset about it, but I'm feeling very emotional sharing it. I'm sharing it for a couple of reasons. One, my hair might start to look different soon, and those of you who have been kind of along with me for the ride for the last few years will notice those changes, I believe, and some of you already have, like I said, because of what I've been wearing in my hair. It wasn't something that I wanted to just like spring on people all of a sudden, and I don't know what's going to happen with my hair in the coming months. So I really wanted to share as soon as I could. I've had a couple of weeks to kind of sit on this and think about it, but I wanted to share as soon as I could so that it wouldn't be such a shock if things do start happening. But also I wanted to share because I might need some community support in the coming months. We'll see what happens here, but my subscribers and viewers of my channel have just been so supportive and so kind and just generous with comments and interacting, and it's just such an uplifting part of my life. And so I just wanted to kind of be able to share that with my YouTube community and to maybe have to come for support once in a while. All right, let me get into kind of the short history of what's been going on with my hair. I am going to show you guys what it looks like. I'm doing a little bit of a build-up because I'm very nervous to share with you what it looks like. To me, it looks very scary. And so I sort of want to build up to it so you guys won't be so shocked when I finally get there. So this started happening about October of last year. I noticed all of a sudden one day like a little bump sort of in the back of my head right here, and didn't think a lot of it. I thought I had a zit. It hurt just a little bit. Like it felt a little like, I don't know, a little raw almost. Not raw, but like it just felt like there was a little bump there, and it was, you know, it didn't have hair on it, but I thought it was a zit. So that was about, I want to say like early October of last year. And then I noticed it felt like there was no hair there. It was a small spot, I would say about like that big. And I still kind of thought nothing of it. I thought it was like a zit healing. I don't know what my brain was doing, but that's what I thought. So we moved to Florida after that, and around November I kept feeling the spot, and I finally asked my husband, can you check my hair and see if there's like a bald spot back there? It just feels like very smooth. And so he pulled my hair apart and checked it and was like, oh yeah, you do have a bald spot. And I was like, oh my gosh. I did have a bit of a meltdown then, I will say. I have been actually pretty good about all of this, and I'll explain why in a little bit, but I had a little bit of a meltdown, and yeah, it was not my best moment. I had a freak out. So anyway, fast forward to now, this spot has gotten quite a bit bigger. It does not seem to be growing in a whole lot, but I haven't gotten any more spots anywhere else on my head that I know of yet. I feel like I would feel it. I do kind of run my hands through my hair often, just checking, but I haven't felt anything else. So that part is good. The fact that it's growing bigger is not so good. Like I said, it started out maybe about that big, and now it's, I don't know, maybe about that big. So it's definitely grown in size. I do notice little sprouts of white hair here and there, but it's not much at all. I did go to a dermatologist 2 weeks ago, and she diagnosed me with alopecia areata. Alopecia is an autoimmune disease, and the way I'm understanding it, and I am not a doctor by any means, so if something sounds incorrect here, please feel free to correct me. But from what I can tell, it's basically my immune system thinking that my hair follicles are like a disease and attacking me, so it is attacking back and the hair is falling out. This can often be caused by stress. And so during the time that I noticed something going on, I was going through a really stressful time in my life. My cat had been sick all summer long. My cat Hobbs, if some of you remember. Some of you, if you have been with me for a long time, you'll remember Hobbs. He was such a good boy, but he was sick for an entire summer, and we knew he had cancer. We knew he wasn't going to last forever, but he held on for a really long time because he was a big cat. He had a lot of weight to lose, and so it was just a very stressful time, kind of waiting and knowing that he wasn't going to be with us much longer, and just dealing with the stress of that. At the same time, my dog was sick most of the summer. She was having like stomach issues every week during the summer. We were in a cabin in New Hampshire this summer, and we were right on the lake, and there were fireworks at least every weekend, if not sometimes in the middle of the week. And Luna is deathly afraid of fireworks, and she had diarrhea almost every week. So that was a very stressful thing having to deal with. I also switched jobs that summer. Last summer, I left a full-time job that had, mostly job security and health insurance and all that. And I took a seasonal job as a camp counselor with zero health insurance and no plan for the future. So we knew we were moving down to Florida, but I had no job lined up, and it was really stressful. I'm someone who's never left a job without having a job planned for the future. So we moved down to Florida, and my husband and I didn't have jobs. Neither one of us had anything lined up. So going through the whole moving process, moving without a job, everything was like compiled into one big stress mess. So I feel like that's probably what caused this to happen in the first place. But I feel like I'm in a less stressful situation and my hair is still falling out. So I don't know if, it's just on a roll now and it's going to keep happening until it decides to stop, or if I'm still stressed out kind of below the surface and don't realize it. I am in a new job, and it can be stressful. I have some coworkers who are a challenge, and it can be stressful for sure. So I'm sure that there's some stress in there still. I tend to be, in general, kind of a high a high intensity person. I don't move slowly ever. I always have a plan. I always have a focus. I am definitely an type A personality, I guess, if we still use those terms. I don't know. Anyway, that's sort of what happened. My dermatologist said that it can happen for many reasons. Some of them we may not even know, but the stress is a big one. So in general, I have been trying to lower my stress levels because I really want to kind of try to squash this if I can. I don't want to be stressed out, and I'm gonna do all I can to not be stressed out, but sometimes you can't help it, right? Life gets in the way. So currently I am taking a medication. I'm taking a topical steroid called clobetasol, and I don't know if it's doing anything yet. I've only been on it for 2 weeks, and the way this medication works is that you're on it for 2 weeks, and then you're off it for 1 week, and then you go back on it for 2 weeks. So I have just been on it for the 2 weeks. I am currently on like day 2 of not being on it. I don't know if it's been doing anything or not. We'll find out. I've been trying to take pictures to see what might be happening back there, because I can't see it, obviously. It's in the back of my head. But we'll see how it goes. I go back to the dermatologist in 3 months to see if there's been any success with that medication. So I wanted to share with you guys how I'm kind of feeling about this, because I feel like for some people this would be an absolutely devastating diagnosis, and I don't feel like it is for me. I feel like I've never been one of those people who was super attached or in love with my hair. My hair has always been more of a pain than anything. I have very thick hair, or I've always had very thick hair. I don't know if I will continue to. So I've always just kept it up in a ponytail. If you've been around for the last few years, you know you rarely see my hair down. I almost always have it in a ponytail, because honestly, it just sits on my body and drives me crazy. I've probably been playing with it this whole video, and it just annoys me. So I put it up to get it out of the way. In the summer, it's so hot on my body, so I put it up to not be so hot. So in general, my hair is just, it's a little bit of a nuisance. But I understand if you are someone whose hair is sort of part of their identity, and it just feels like a part of you that is just the part of you that makes you feminine is just missing. I do feel like if I had no hair, if I had to shave it, if it all fell out, I'm afraid that I would feel less feminine, because I do love feeling girly and being able to do fun things with my hair if I want to, which is not often, but if I want to, it's nice knowing the option is there. But in general, I am not as bonded with my hair as I know some people are. My sister has gorgeous, gorgeous long brown hair. She's always like curling it and doing these beautiful updos, and I feel like of the two of us, I'm glad this is happening to me and not her, because I feel like she's so much more connected to her hair, and maybe because she has 4 boys and it's just like a thing that she gets to do for herself that just is, you know, more of a girly thing. But for me, I think it just is what it is, and I'm not going to be devastated if it all falls out. I'll be sad for sure. I don't want it to all fall out. I don't want to have to wear a wig, which I imagine I would do sometimes, just because I would want to to feel like I had hair sometimes. And I hope we don't get to that point. But if we do, we do. All right, I've been babbling a ton. I feel like I've been putting off sharing what my hair looks like. So I will show you, like, I can still do, this is my ponytail. Like, it's still thick. I still have plenty of hair. You know, there's still lots there. But in the back, I have a good sized bald spot. I'm going to turn around and show you guys. I'm going to kind of fix my hair. Right now, I can cover it up, and that is great news. Because I work with the public, I feel like I just don't want to invite questions or comments, and the public, they just have a way of really commenting on things you don't want them to comment on. So I hide this as much as I possibly can at work. I have been using a powder before I started using headbands to cover up the bald spot, but I have not been using that powder anymore, and the headbands have really been working to cover it up. But I'm going to turn around and show you guys. This is all the hair I have on this side, like from the middle of my head over. This is it. So here goes. I'm hoping I'm at the right angle to show you guys this. So it is, yeah, it's a large spot. It does feel slightly fuzzy. I'm sure you can't see that on camera. I'll get a little bit closer, but yeah. That's my bald spot. I try not to call it my bald spot because it sounds awful. I feel like it just sounds weird. So anyway, you can see now why I've been wearing the headbands that kind of go, you know, right down over here. And I do have enough hair on the bottom here to, when I put my hair up in a ponytail, you can kind of see it's like sort of covering the spot. But also, if you can see how sparse it is right here, I don't even know if I'm at the right angle, but it's super sparse right here. So I feel like if I lose any more hair on this side, it's going to be really hard to hide. So that was another part of the reason I wanted to share this video. Now, I don't know how long it's going to be before it becomes noticeable and people start asking questions. So health-wise, I am fine. I am absolutely super healthy. I'm going to the doctor Thursday. I expect to find no problems other than my immune system going a little haywire. I am fine. We do have a little bit of a history of autoimmune disease in our family. We have some thyroid issues. We have vitiligo. There are people who are very close to me in my immediate family who have these issues. So because autoimmune disease can be hereditary, I'm not surprised, but yeah, that is it. I think this is maybe not the video I was planning on sharing, and I don't even know for sure that I'm going to post this. I'm gonna schedule it for about a week from now so that I give myself a little bit of time to think about it and to fully decide if I'm going to post this, but I'm 99% sure I am. And I very much appreciate your kindness and your positivity, and thank you guys so much for always being supportive and kind. So, all right, I'm going to end this video. If you have any comments, suggestions, questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I will try my best to answer them. If you came to this video because you are newly diagnosed with alopecia, feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to read it and commiserate with you. If you're coming to this video because you've had alopecia for years, also please leave a comment below and let me know if there's anything you've tried that worked really well for you. I don't even know. I'm starting to read some books on diet. The problem is I already have some stomach sensitivities and issues that would stop me from being able to do the diet that a lot of people recommend for autoimmune disease. So yeah, I don't know if the diet part of it would work for me, but we're going to keep on keeping on. I don't love medications. I don't know that I plan on doing steroid injections in my head or medications with lots of chemicals and side effects. I'm someone who usually believes that sometimes side effects can be worse than the disease itself, and I'm not feeling any kind of symptoms or, pain or anything like that from alopecia, so I don't plan on taking medications that would make me feel worse, if that makes any sense. So anyway, like I said, comment below if you have anything to share. I'd love to read your comments. And thank you guys for letting me be vulnerable. And I may have to be in the coming months. So I so appreciate you guys for coming along and being there for me. All right, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.